Yo, what's good? It's Marcus, the debt free dad. And this video title is inconsistent with the name that I have, but we got to talk about it. If you're new to the channel, I talk finances and attorney reactions to different financial content, scammer news, or very interesting lawsuits. Stay tuned, check out the show. And if you like something, you might hear something you like, definitely hit the like button, subscribe, share, and hit that bell notification so you can get updated when I drop new videos. Now, let's rewind, okay? This entire process started from me wanting to get out of debt. So, we worked and we took care of and paid off credit cards and cars and all sorts of ridiculous things that we have. So we went through a period of years where the only payment we had was essentially our mortgage. We were making our investments, we're putting money in the kids 529 and all of those good things, but we didn't have any payments. Now, historically, I do not like car payments. The most expensive car that I've ever purchased was $20,000. It was a good deal, $20,000. I think I paid it off in like 16 or 18 months or something to that effect. But generally I'm not a proponent of car payments. However, from the title of this video, y'all can see I jumped in and dove in to a car payment. So I want to break it down. I want to talk about the numbers. And then in the video comments, y'all let me know, was it a good idea or a bad idea? Now, this is essentially how we got to this point. One day, everything's going well. My wife has car trouble. And I'm like, okay, I'll put it in the shop to get it fixed. Well, what happens literally that same week? I have car trouble. So right now, and normally we would back in the day, we used to always have a third car that we just kind of kept around just for situations like this. Or if one broke down, we could just hop in the hoopty and drive it around or what have you. But all of our cars are so old, they all kind of hoopties. And so we had two car issues in the same week to the point where I literally had to rent a car. Now, in renting a car, and my wife's car is an older BMW, and renting a car, I think we had to rent a car for maybe a week until we got one of them fixed. And then to get my wife's car fixed, I think I spent like $3,000 to get it fixed. We got her car fixed. We was waiting to get my car squared away. It's in the shop, but we still got a rental. So far so good. Well, lo and behold, something else happened with her car. It had to go back into the shop like a week later, and I think I spent another 3 racks to get it fixed. Right now, generally, I don't spend a bunch of money to get the car fixed. It's just the type of car it is. It costs a lot for maintenance. And so while we were down these two vehicles and we had this rental car, I was just thinking, like, man, this car thing is getting annoying. Maybe I should purchase a car so that we have something that's like really reliable and under warranty. Because the only thing worse than a car payment is having a car that you have to make payments on, but that car is not under warranty. And so looking online, literally, I was in the BMW shop talking to the mechanic, and I saw online the vehicle that my wife wanted. It was a 2020 BMW X5, low miles. It's the lowest miles that I've ever purchased the vehicle at. And it's the most expensive car I ever purchased. But the lowest car that I ever had, mileage wise, and the most expensive car I've ever had, price wise. And so I thought, you know what? This is the car she want. This is a good price. It was literally such a good price. I showed it to my mechanic who has a shop and he only repair BMWs. That's all they fix. And he was like, yo, if that's the price, that's a good deal. Go ahead, get the car, uh, bring it around. I'll bring it in the shop, check it out to make sure nothing's crazy going on. So I go down there. Now, keep in mind, I'm trying to do all of this and not tell her anything about it. I'm trying to surprise her, right? But so where we are, both cars broke down. We had to get a rental car. Her car's car is in the shop. I spent $3,000 to get it fixed. A week later, something happens to her car again. I put it in, and while it's in the shop, I'm thinking, you know what, it's gonna cost 3,000 to fix this, but we need to get something that's reliable and under warranty because it's actually gonna come out cheaper than making the repairs on her expensive ass car. And I mean, I'm gonna just be honest from a budget standpoint and the rules that we follow to purchase the vehicle, it actually is within the guidelines and the parameters. So I'm trying to secretly buy this car, but of course, what do women do? They worry like, oh, the cars are jacked up, and so the surprise was ruined because I just was like, damn it, I bought you a car. Stop complaining. We'll go pick it up whenever it's ready. And so we purchased this vehicle. So we purchased this vehicle. I got her BMW fixed, and I still have my vehicle. And I got to do a small repair on my vehicle. It still drive, but since we got two cars to drive, she has a new SUV. I'm driving her old car. I'm not really in a rush to fix my car, especially since my son isn't in a rush to take a car to college. So I'm not going to rush him. Now, y'all see in the thumbnails, this car costs 40 racks, $40,000. Now we got to break it down and do the math. Okay. Generally, with cars, in order for me to purchase it, I like to pay it off within 24 months. But I also want something that has a warranty on it. So the car has a 5-year warranty for everything except tires. That's a plus. That means I know that in this car, it was such low mileage on this car. For the next 5 years, if anything wrong, we could take it into the shop and we don't have to worry about anything outside of like a $100 fee or something to that effect. We could take it to the dealership, they'll square it away. And we got it from a BMW dealership, not like Joe's Auto Garage or something like that. So price wise, let's kind of break down the numbers. The car is $40,000. I always finance my vehicles for the longest amount of time that I can. What is the reason in doing that? Well, one, it wasn't a real difference in interest rate to do that. But I want my car note to be as low as possible. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to pay it off sooner or pay more. But in the event if something happens or an emergency comes up, I like to have the car note as low as possible for the actual obligation that we have to pay. Again, not considering anything extra that we're paying because we are paying extra. So the payment is about $630 a month as it currently stands, I essentially pay about $1,000 a month. I pay the car note, which is 630. Then I put a little bit extra on top of the principal to knock it down. And if I do that, I'll probably be able to pay it off in less than 36 months. But the goal is going to be 36 months. I'll probably be able to do it in less than 36 months because I know I'm gonna get some bonuses and some other stuff that are gonna come around where I can attack it and really knock it out. The biggest thing for me really was the missus does a lot of traveling. She travels a lot with my daughter for dance, and I needed to make sure that she and her were riding around in something reliable. And if a light come on, she can just drive it to the dealership, any BMW dealership, or call and have it towed to any dealership, and it'll be taken away. Now, let's talk about the sacrifices that us dads make, okay? Because I saw the vehicle that I want for a perfect price, and it was a Tesla. It was a little bit more than $40,000. Wasn't 50,000, but a little bit more than $40,000. Buying it directly from Tesla. And when we had these same busted ass cars, I said, you know what? I don't need that car right now. But dads, we always got to make the sacrifice. I was like, well, let me go ahead and get her something so she's squared away. I could drive these old pieces of shit we got until I decide I don't want to drive them anymore. Now, when we break down the actual payment, not talking about the actual payment, $630 a month is about 4.5% of the monthly household income. So, can we afford it? Afford the payment? Yes, we can afford the payment. The rules that I tried to follow were simple. One thing I didn't do is I didn't put any money down because I got a high ass great credit score and the interest rate was relatively low. So I didn't put too much money down. One, I didn't want to just get rid of that money up front. And two, I'm going to pay it off in 36 months or less anyway. So I'm really not concerned about taking out ten to $15,000 out of money in the savings account to pay for a car, like, or put down on the car. It just didn't make sense to me. I would rather have that money just sitting in the bank. So the parameters were, we didn't put any money down on the vehicle. The payment is $630 a month, the actual payment, although we do pay extra to get the payment up to $1,000 a month. Anything over the 630, we throw directly at the principal. That 630 obligation is about 5% of our overall household income. So we definitely aren't over leveraged. We aren't struggling to pay it. Everybody has jobs that are stable with no expectation of layoffs, firing. It may be a furlough or something like that, because you know how the government be sometimes. But I'm not really tripping off furloughs because, hey, when you get furloughed, when you go back to work, they always give you back pay. In addition, I do anticipate in the next 3 to 6 months actually increasing our household income. So that $630 obligation for my wife's vehicle will probably be more around 2 to 2.5% of the overall household income instead of the current 4.5%. So is 5% of our overall household income for the month is the actual payment. We're paying more to get the payment to $1,000 a month. Anything over 630, we put at the principal. Now, the goal is to pay it off in 36 months or less. If we pay it off in 36 months, we'll have a paid off vehicle with 24 months of bumper to bumper warranty remaining on the car. And that's a good position to be in. The next thing that is important for me is, excuse me, your car payments cannot be more than your actual investments, how much you're investing monthly. Um, I haven't really broken down the numbers, but investments into one investment vehicle, just for me, not even counting my wife's income, is over three times what our payment is. So that is a prong that is important. And it was met. What difference would it make if I have a $630 car note that's easy, but I only invest $500? So literally, just me, not counting my spouse, uh, I invest about 1,800 to $2,500 a month in total. I don't know the exact numbers. I know for certain in just my retirement fund, it's three times the amount of the car payment that's actually going in every month, and that's just for me. That doesn't even count the spouse's income. So those are the parameters that we kind of set when I jumped out there. Why I jumped out there to get a car. I haven't had a car payment in a minute, so I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I think, how could I put this? There's nothing wrong with having a car payment as long as you can do it in a way that doesn't stretch you financially too thin. Um, I'm gonna just be honest. Like, it's just a car payment. Like, I think car payments are issues when you're over leveraged and you potentially can't pay your car payment or pay everything else. We're just not in that position. So honestly, for me, the peace of mind of having a vehicle that has extremely low mileage, has a bumper to bumper warranty on it, and I know is reliable when my family is driving around is worth it. And I'm just not going to put 15, $20,000 out of my account on a car that I'm planning to pay off eventually anyway. Plus, I want to I want to stay liquid, so I want to have a lot of cash on hand, considering that I know I'm going to have expenses that come up related to things my daughter want to do, my son getting ready to go to college, and other family obligations. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. You all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Was it too much? Was it not too much? I don't think it was too much. I put some safety mechanisms in place to make sure that we didn't get too wild. And I'm actually going to be honest. Like, if if I have a vehicle issue on my vehicle on my SUV or on my wife's former car, BMW, that I'm driving now, if I have a vehicle issue that's going to cost me more than $4 or $5,000 to repair, I probably just go ahead and get the damn vehicle that I want anyway. I mean, again, we'll set in the same rules in place to make sure we aren't over leveraged. I don't anticipate on doing that too soon. But if I have a $6,000 repair come up, I'm gonna park that bitch in the yard and leave it there and go get what I want that's reliable and within our budget. And I probably keep one of those cars, sell the other one, and then we'll just have these three vehicles back to what our original game plan was. But I probably wouldn't make that right now. It would have to be a unique set of circumstances to make me do that. Like, oh man, something happened to one of my cars, and it cost something happened to both of my cars, and it's going to cost a shitload of money to fix them. That would be the only scenario. Otherwise, I would probably wait until I had about I would probably wait till I had about 10,000 to $20,000 remaining on my wife's car before I actually jumped out there and paid that. Now, like I said in the beginning of this video, I do anticipate increasing my income over the next 3 to 6 months, where that $630 car payment won't be 4.5% of the household income. It'll be like 2% of the household income. And in that instance, if and when that happens, I'll probably just throw a huge lump sum on the wife's vehicle, like 15 or 20,000, to speed up that process, get it out the way as soon as possible. That way I can pivot and finally get something that I want, because I always take care of everybody else. That's it for this video. Y'all let me know what y'all think about my purchase and me going from the debt-free dad to having debt dad in light of the current financial situation we got going on. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. And if y'all enjoyed this video, check out the content on the screen. It's going to be more content related to finances and attorney reactions.